Oh my goodness. Is it Aaron Gabra? Oh, it's St. Patty's Day, isn't it? I think it is. It's me, Jake. I hope you're here. Today's show is going to be just slightly shorter than usual because I've got to get out of here at about 23 after because I've got to take our daughter to basketball. I hope you can hear me is my main concern right now, because now I realize sometimes you can't always hear me when I'm doing this. So if you can't hear me, I'm counting on you to tell me these things. Meanwhile, happy St. Patrick's Day. Here we go. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And yes, it should be green pick, but I can't get that to work. Hello, Keith. Greetings, Gary. Greetings, Rachel. Happy St. Patty's Day. I am wearing green. Let's get back to normal here. I think I can put myself back in the real game. Oh, there we go. So, St. Patrick's Day, I've got my red hat and my green sweater on. I'm also wearing my kilt, camo kilt today. You are bearable. Thank you, Christopher. Yeah. Oh, hearable. Yeah, they're great. Happy National Submarine Day. Bob, come on, don't be ridiculous. Although I do like your joke. For all those that are enamored of a thing long, hard, and full of semen. Ha, ha, effing ha. Well, Lady Jerry and I have been watching Outlander on Netflix, and so I've decided to start sporting the kilt around. Sorry, it's just a bit, I can't really get up on this wheelchair without breaking my effing neck. Jen, greetings to you. Flavia, you're eating a green salad. Yes, that does count. It absolutely counts. Let's see. Lady Jerry is just texting me. Lady Jerry is saying it's taking a long time to do some things that she's busy trying to do right now. But we're busy trying to do some things. Brad, yo, yes, greetings to you. And welcome aboard. It is our Thursday St. Patrick's Day show. I haven't been down past Jameson's, the Irish pub, a couple blocks from here. You have green letters on your T-shirt. Yes, well, I'm wearing my Patti Smith green T-shirt today. Hello, Laura. You're in Atlanta. You got your first dose of Pfizer today. You will. Lady Jerry and I are looking forward to our second dose, our final dose next Thursday at the Jesse Owens Park down in Inglewood, and I'm hoping that's going to happen. We haven't heard that yet. Oh, it is Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday. Did I say it was Thursday? I don't know. It's St. Patrick's Day. Wednesday's as good as anything. I have a couple things for today. I didn't pick an animal, but I do have some Leprechaun Facts, and got this new box of dinner party table topics, questions that Julie has sent me. And so we can bust out a question from the new question box. Oh my dear, there seems to be a wrapper on these. Well, I don't think we can make short work of that. What else can I tell you? I can tell you that I today have signed up for jiu-jitsu. I'm going to be back on the mats as of April 5th when they are scheduled to reopen. And I'm very excited about that. So that's going to happen. We're going to happen. But it's Wednesday, St. Patrick's Day. It is Wednesday. You've been binge watching Breaking Bad, Jen. Now you're tense. We've been watching Better Call Saul and Outlander. That's what we're going back and forth with. So we're back and forth. Oh, Flavia, I guess Laura's been sending out some postcards. Yeah, people are excited about that. I should have asked about that. Brad, you're saying critically endangered Somali wild ass, not a donkey, it's an ass. Yeah. Well, that's a possible later on adventure for us to have. But right now, I've got some Leprechaun Facts. These are 15 things you probably didn't know about leprechauns. And I have to say, some of these things I felt like I sorted knew, but then did I really know them? Fact number one about leprechauns: although they might not match your initial idea of what a fairy is, leprechauns are fairies. Huh. Irish people, go figure. In the miniature men are said to be descendants of Tuatha De Danann, a group of magical beings, and I apologize for that mispronunciation of the Gaelic, but I didn't have time to brush up on my Gaelic before the show today. A group of magical beings that served under the Gaelic goddess Danu. According to legend, this mythical group lived in Ireland long before humans inhabited the land. And that's what you hear about fairies, that they were around before us, the fairies. And we're watching, as I mentioned, Outlander. And so that's in Scotland, which is not Ireland, and they're not the same. But it's a similar part of the world, and fairies are a big deal there. Jesus, what's dinging now? There aren't any female leprechauns. Sadly to say, gender equality has not reached the leprechaun community. There aren't any female leprechauns, and we don't really know why. As a result, leprechauns are described as grouchy, untrusting, and solitary creatures, although that leaves out the possibility that leprechauns might be gay and therefore happy. But some sources claim leprechauns are the unwanted children of the fairy community. I'm not so sure I like that. There's a leprechaun colony in Portland. There's this little place here, this street park. It's like a little manhole-sized place where this guy planted this tree in Portland. Well, Brad is asking how leprechauns reproduce. Well, they're described as the unwanted children of the fairy community. So leprechauns don't reproduce. They're produced. They're a byproduct of regular heterosexual production. They can't reproduce themselves, and that's what causes them to be grouchy and untrusting and solitary. But this leprechaun colony in Portland, Oregon, this little street park here that you can see, is this journalist there, Dick Fagan, took it upon himself to make use of this little park in the street, this little manhole-sized spot. And then he began writing stories about that spot in the newspaper, and he detailed the adventures of a small leprechaun colony that lived there. And the modest garden is called Mills End Park, and it became an official city park on St. Patrick's Day in 1976. That's the United States' bicentennial, I might mention. So you can look up, that's something to see when you visit Portland, which Lady Jerry and I are going to be doing later this year, prior to and after we receive our truck camper. Oh, here's some fun facts about Mill End, Flavia. You've already... Wow. Wow, there's a lot of good activity in the chat. Brad Williams is not leaving his house today. Not a good day for him to be out and about. Rich, oh, come on. Brad's a good guy. I don't think he is a leprechaun, though. Leprechaun means small body. It's believed to be a variation of the Middle Irish word lucorpan, which means small body. Well, how about that? Sometimes leprechauns are red. What do you think about that? That's why I've worn my red hat today. Jen, still waiting for my new hat. Sometimes they're red, although the Little Irishmen are now synonymous with the color green. They weren't always. Early accounts of leprechauns described them as wearing red and sporting a variety of hats, often three-cornered red hat. Michael, you're here. Good to see you. Leprechauns have a troublesome cousin called the Cluricaun. The Cluricaun is a mythical creature that shares many characteristics with leprechaun. These beings are always described as drunk and surly. What do you think about that? They're often seen in stories riding animals at night. Who hasn't done that? Or clearing out entire wine cellars. also a thing that I participated in. Some accounts explain these troublemakers as the night form of leprechauns. After a hard day's work, the bearded fairies get so tipsy they become an entirely different species, the Leprechaun. So there you go. Leprechauns are bankers and cobblers of the fairy world. So yeah, they're known for the money. Of course, we all know about Leprechaun's bag of treasures, but they're walking around making shoes. I don't know where that comes from. It's probably a good job back in the day. Back in the day when there were a lot of fairies and only a few men. One thing those men needed was shoes. Leprechauns are sneaky. We all knew this. Wherever there are leprechauns, there are stories of people trying to steal their gold. The rule is, if you're lucky enough to catch a leprechaun, you can never take your eyes off him or he'll disappear. And so this story here, which I'm reading, finally found a use for the old small Kindle here. The leprechaun points out the tree where his pot of gold is hidden, and the guy ties a red ribbon around the tree so he can come back, goes to get his shovel. When he comes back, all the trees have red ribbons on them. It's like a variation on tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree, if you remember Tony Orlando and Dawn. But leprechauns are sneaky like Tony Orlando. But leprechauns can be generous if you're kind to them. Constantly being chased for one's gold or cereal, can take a toll on a fairy's demeanor. Of course, somebody who wants to get your gold all the time is going to make you cranky. But one legend mentions a down-on-his-luck nobleman who offered a leprechaun a ride on his horse, and then afterwards returned to his castle to find it filled to the ceiling with gold. What about that? Someone claims to have found the remains of an actual leprechaun. Oh my goodness. And this is over in Slieve Foy in Ireland. And this happened in 1989. 1989 is when someone claimed to have found a leprechaun skeleton. 1989. Now, I'm pretty sure that most of us were alive who were watching the show in 1989. But Jen, you're saying you've got orders for giant Easter peep bunnies, and when you finish that, you'll start on the hat. What color? Well, I don't know what color, Jen. We've got to probably discuss that. You tell me. I've got a gray one. I'm partial to gray and black and those kind of gray, black, off-white kind of colors because they go with everything. And so that's what I'm partial to, but I'm open to other ideas. Keep the hat. You have one for your Steve Zissou costume. Scott, that's where I bought this hat when I was on tour. I was down in Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne, Australia, doing the comedy festival, and I went to Steve Zissou to the costume party, and that's why I had this red hat. So we have that in common, Scott. Pick, you're saying you hated the movie Leprechaun. I wasn't fond of it either. Although there's another Leprechaun movie about giant leprechauns, and I think it might have taken place in Ireland, but I'm not sure, that I did enjoy. Bob, you're saying you looked out the window of your golf course clubhouse after a bad thunderstorm and saw a rainbow that ended in your backyard. You raced home, and instead of a pot of gold, you found a yard full of dog crap, probably some cat hair as well, is what I'd imagine. Oh, now the iPad's turned off. That's how long we went on that. So 1989 leprechaun skeleton, and I have to say that I have the leprechaun skeleton depicted here on the Kindle. That's the leprechaun skeleton. It looks a bit like it might be made of some chicken bones, but it is still quite good, and I do enjoy that there are some bottles of liquor there as well. So you're eating a corned beef banh mi. One of your friends dropped off. Rich, you're lucky. You're mixing your cultures, but I love that you're going Irish and Vietnamese at the same time. I'm neutral. Yes, I'm a neutral palate. It's rare that I would wear this red hat, and that's why I'm encouraging my helpers to get me gray to black palette hats. Although I'm not. I do love green. So there's your leprechaun skeleton. They're leprechauns are protected under European law. Apparently, there are 236 leprechauns that still live in caverns off of Slieve Foy, where the leprechaun skeleton was found in 1989. The EU granted heritage status to the remaining wee people, and now they have their own protected sanctuary nestled in the mountain. Meanwhile, here in America, we're going to drill for oil at Bear's Ears. That's all I can say about that. My God, we've got a ways to go. Some accounts say leprechauns can live underwater. Earliest known folklore feature of leprechauns comes from the Middle Ages. In it, Fergus Mac Letty, the king of Ulster, falls asleep on the beach, and he awakens, and the leprechauns are trying to drag him into the ocean. But that's a rare description. But there may be aquatic leprechauns. So I did go for my sea swim today, and I can report I did not see any leprechauns. Sometimes I do a little somersault in the water to make sure my head gets dunked. And when I came up one time, I was very close to a looking kind of a cormorant looking bird that had just ingested a fish. Leprechauns might have divine heritage. Some sources say leprechauns are derivatives of the Irish deity Loch, god of the sun and of arts and crafts. So, well, I'm into the sun and I'm into arts and crafts. After the rise of Christianity, Loch's importance was diminished, and he was demoted to a shoemaking folklore character. That hurts. That hurts. Do you remember when I used to be a god, and now I'm a shoemaking folklore character? Holy crap! You think what's happened to me during the pandemic hurts? Imagine what happened to Law when the Christians showed up. Oh, my heart goes out to him. I can relate, brother. You can pretend to be a leprechaun for a good cause. In March, there are marathons all over the country that encourage the participants to dress like leprechauns. Well, I don't think that's happening this year, and they don't mention what country it is. And then at the end here, you can make your own leprechaun trap. And there's a picture of this one. And I wish that I had some pictures of when my daughter, Fanula, who has an Irish name, was in her first school, where they went from kindergarten to 8th grade. The kindergarten, first and second graders would make leprechaun traps every year to try and catch the leprechauns. And we participated in it. It'd usually be a box with a little ladder to go up, and then you'd have some fake gold coins that you would put out. I probably have some fake gold coins in here if I really gave a look. Let me just see if I can find a fake gold coin while you're listening along, and I'll bring them by. Oh, here they are. Here's some gold coins from the old that we used to bait the leprechaun trap with. These are the gold coins. As you can see, they've got a shamrock on one side and a shamrock on the other side. Oh, and these ones don't. These ones have got just a dollar sign. The gold coins are the dollar sign. So anyway, we would use these. We'd use these to bait the leprechaun trap. And one year, one kid made his leprechaun trap. Oh, and this is some green paint on this one left over from the leprechaun trap days, which again shows you that I'll save just about anything. So one kid baited his leprechaun trap with honey, or I think it was honey that the leprechauns were meant to go in after the coins, and then they would get stuck in the honey, and then you catch them the next day. And so leprechauns, teachers maybe, would put in little footprints, green footprints on the floor. They never caught any leprechauns, but every year the traps would get disrupted and disturbed. But the year of the honey leprechaun traps, there would be a lot of 1-year cockroaches in the leprechaun traps, and there was a fumigation that had happened at our daughter's school. So we weren't infested with leprechauns, but we were infested with cockroaches. So that can be a unintended consequence of the old leprechaun trap. Anyway, I'm rich, St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to go down to the bar and see if I can, formerly Finn McCool's, now called Jameson's Irish Bar. I was just going to show you something in the back. Oh, I've got my new sign up. I've took down the poster of Belinda and put up this sign, which celebrates Acme Comedy Company's 20th anniversary, which I was at. It was such a great couple of days. I had to leave because I had another gig. But I'm going to reach out to the club to see if they might be doing a 30-year celebration, because this was November 1 through 5 of 2011. And it's 2021. So that tells me that Acme Comedy Company in Minneapolis, where Julie is from, who sent me this question box, and I'm going to ask and answer a quick question before the end of the show, because I've got to take my daughter to basketball. But I'm hoping to get back. Who's had their Shamrock Shake? Jen, that's a good idea. I'll have to get out to do that. Your grandson's trap was 3 tiny cups of different sweetness lemonade. Maybe it was a drowning trap. It could have been a drowning trap, Scott, but you're also going to wind up with insects with a trap like that. Jen, you're saying you love the pick of Belinda. I did too, but I just wanted to put this up because this was the last club I worked before the pandemic lockdown, and I'm hoping to get back to it, so I thought I'd put that up for now. But I love that pick of Belinda, and I still have it. Don't worry, I didn't get rid of that. I was going to read that question, but I've decided not to. No, I'm not going to read a question out of the question box. My first couple of questions I haven't really enjoyed, and oh my God. Do you have a favorite stock pick? Do you have a favorite stock pick? This is supposed to start a dinner conversation. Well, I did buy Apple stock a long time ago when I bought my first Apple computer, and it turned out well for me. But I don't have a favorite stock pick. My favorite stock pick is buy stock in companies that you think are awesome. I bought some Chipotle stock when they were going through their E. coli problems, and that worked out for me, so that was good. Laura, you've been looking for Shamrock Shakes in Atlanta, and they don't have them there. The closest is like an hour away. Well, I don't know. You like chicken stock, Gary. Boom! Boom! Score. You're the first of the basket on that one. All right, I've got to get out of here. So it's time for Seize the Day, and we'll be back tomorrow for Thursday's show. And tomorrow will be Thursday, I'm pretty sure. I've had my workout, I've had my C-dip, and now I'm going to have my Seize the Day. C-dip, not C-diff. I've signed up for jiu-jitsu. I'll be back in there. It's time for Seize the Day. I hope you're all well. Fart machine is not plugged in. Let me quickly take my temperature before we get on with Seize the Day. 98 degrees. Beautiful. Today's Seize the Day is from Mary Schmitz, which is a pretty good name. I'm not sure who that is. Flavia, you're saying it was a fun show today? Well, I'm glad. I hoped you enjoyed it. Norman, you're saying good advice on picking stocks. You follow Warren Buffett's stock picks. Yeah, I've got a great book by Warren Buffett here that I don't have close enough to hold up. But yeah, you don't buy stock in a company that you don't understand what they do. That's my advice. And you can learn things the easy way, you can learn things the hard way. And I can tell you from experience, everybody wants to learn it the hard way. And that's how I learned that one. Mary Schmitz, don't worry about the future or worry, but know that worrying is as effective as trying to solve an algebra equation by chewing bubblegum. What the hell, Mary? I don't know who Mary is, but thanks to her for that. Best of luck, and don't worry about the future. Take care of yourselves. Don't give up. There'll be plenty of time to give up later. I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy your evening. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Love to love you.